All right, what's up, everybody, and welcome to our Degenerate's Guide to March Madness betting round two. We are back after round one. As you can see, it's just Unders and I today. I'm Buckshot Rob. That's Tommy Unders. What's up, buddy?
Woo!
And EJ, prayers for EJ. He's dealing with some personal stuff. We love Rocket Man, and he'll be back shortly. But for today, we are going to go over his plays. We're going to do this show the exact same way as we did the last. We're going to start with our best bets per region. We're going to go by each region and go through all of our best bets. After that, we are going to do unders, and I at least are going to do our brackets for the second round. And then to end the show, we are going to end our contest. I'll give you guys an update on where we stand now. And then we will also pick two plays each from the second round to determine who has to play with Mark in a skins game for all the monies. So, with that being said, before we get started, Tommy, I wanted to ask you what your takeaways were from the first round. What did you see that you really liked, hated, whatever?
Well, I'm glad that the upsets are back in March Madness. So we saw a bunch of upsets. We saw top teams struggle a little bit. Some came back, some kept it close. Um, as far as unders go, boy, my unders didn't do great. Probably should have picked some different unders, but what are you going to do? That Kentucky game, man, that Kentucky Santa Clara game, that was one of the better finishes I've seen in a long time. Hitting the last second to go to overtime and then taking it and covering, which worked out well for me. Yeah, so overall, I thought there was a lot of good basketball, a lot of close games, and like I said, a lot of big teams struggling. We saw some huge blowouts. Florida putting up the most points of the tournament. Plus, I believe it was the second biggest margin of victory ever in the NCAA tournament. Got to see the 7'9" giant just reach up, not even have to jump to dunk it. So that was pretty cool. He made a 6'8" person look like a small child. So that was pretty awesome. Also, a heads up, we could be interrupted by children at any point in time during this during this recording. So just a heads up for everybody out there. But hey, that's life.
I mean, that's an ongoing theme for all of us whenever we're doing these remote. I know that my kids are luckily a little preoccupied right now. We'll see how long that lasts. But as far as my takeaways, I'm with you, man. The buzzer beaters and the late game finishes and then the underdogs. I'm so happy to see some excitement again with underdogs having the opportunity to come back. I thought one crazy thing was the cat that hit the high point game winner. It was a layup. That was his first 2-point field goal of the entire season, which
That's
is just
wild.
insane to me. Makes nothing but threes and free throws, and then he makes a game-winning 2-point field goal for his first one. The Duke game, that was fun. There were so many teams that were not supposed to be in it at all that were, which, if anybody who caught the first round of our Degenerates guide here, I was dog, dog, dog. And like you said, the madness is back in March Madness. Love to see it. Can't not touch on the Florida Gators. I mean, wow, what an ass whooping. They look so good. They look back to what they were looking like towards the end of the season before the SEC tournament. Makes me feel very good about that. You mentioned unders. I had a bunch of unders that did hit, so the unders were there with those inflated balls, but I had some overs that hit too. So all around good basketball, man. I mean, it never disappoints. Very excited to be in the thick of it again. I'm excited for today and tomorrow's games as well. With that being said, that's exactly what we'll get into next. Then I'm going to do this the same order we did last time, Tommy. So I'm going to shoot it over to you first for the East bracket and your favorite plays in the East bracket.
All right, I got two plays in the East. First, I got Duke minus 11 and a half. They had their first round scare, so this is a classic comeback game for them to show their dominance. Statistically, they have the better offense, defense, field goal percentage. Like I said, I just don't see them getting a scare again. I think they go out there and just absolutely dominate TCU. The second play I got is St. John's in Kansas under 144.5, and that's for our friend EJ there, throwing that out. Um, both are top defensive teams, and they've hit the unders four out of the last five.
Yep.
So,
So I for my first pick in the East bracket, I'm with you on that one. We are going to meet at the betting cashier there because I am also on St. John's, Kansas under 144 and a half. I got the same thing written down. Analytically, the defenses are better than the offenses on both sides of the ball, or on both teams. St. John's has been under that number 60% of their last 10 games, so 6 out of 10, and Kansas the exact same, under 6 out of 10 in that number. I think that one's going to be a dog fight. So I'm with you there. My only other play, I also only have two, is an over. I like Louisville, Michigan State over 151. I'm riding it back with Michigan State. They gave me an over last round. I think it's going to happen again here. Although Michigan State historically through the season hasn't been an over team, they've hit this number 151 6 out of the last 10, and Louisville has hit it 8 out of the last 10, and they are more of an over team. So I think just the style of play there, that's going to lead me to that. So that's all I got for the East region. Obviously less games, so we got less to go over today. I'll start the South region off for us this time, then I'll kick it over to
Well,
you. The South region, I've got two plays again. The first play is my play of the day, or the weekend, which is going to be A&M plus 10.5. I'm back on the dogs. Again, my favorite play. These teams have played 4 times. I don't get a lot of opportunities when I'm doing my research at this point to see two teams have played each other, right? And these teams have played each other. Houston has never beat A&M by more than 10 points. So that is one good plus for me. A&M on the other side as well has covered this spread, has not lost by 11 in 8 out of the last 10. So dogs during madness combined with those things there, that makes that my favorite play of the day. This is my dog region, I guess, and because my second play is also a dog, I got VCU plus 11. So VCU has covered this number 9 out of 10, and Illinois has not covered this number in 6 out of 10. So they've only been able to beat a team by more than 11 in 4 out of their last 10 wins. So for that reason, that is my second play in the South and my last play in the South. What you got, Unders?
all right. So for the South, I also have two plays. I am starting with Houston A&M. However, I'm taking the under 142 and a half. Houston by far, I believe, is the best defense in this tournament. They frustrate teams, so I think a team like Texas A&M can get frustrated with them. Houston's hit the under 20 out of their 34 games.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the under on that one. My second play is Nebraska plus 1.5 over Vandy. They got the monkey off their back, their first ever tournament win. They are one of the top 3-point shooting teams. Vandy, one of the worst at defending the three. Plus, Nebraska also a senior heavy team. Those always tend to do good in the tournament. They've been tested and they came out swinging in that first round, monkeys off their back. So I'm going to take them plus 1.5.
Got it. All right. Yeah. Senior heavy is rare these days, too. So that's a big plus for them. All right. And then I'm going to let you kick us off in the West.
All right. For the West, I got two again in the West here. So I got High Point in Arkansas on the over 168 and a half. We saw High Point, speed it up and put up a lot of points on Wisconsin. Obviously, that was one of those great matches. Also, believe that was their first ever tournament, or at least round of 64 tournament win ever. So I think, they're obviously feeling it. Arkansas, we know one of the best. They have one of the best players in the NCAA right now in A Cup. Both teams are averaging 89 and 90 points per game. Both are also averaging 50% field goal percentage shooting. I think it's a fast-paced game, so I'm taking the over on that. The second one I have is also an over, actually.
On the
Arizona.
over.
I know. I'm taking. Hey, when I picked the unders on the first round, just did not work out for me great. So I'm just gonna switch it up and go overs. Uh, Arizona, Utah State, I'm taking the over. Both these teams average over 85 a game. They both also play fast-paced transition offense style, which again can lead to a lot of points. So I'm going to take over 156 and a half. That's all I got in the West.
All right, and I got even less. I've only got one. I am going to backtrack real quick because I don't have this written down, but I'm going to bet it in the South, which is the Gators minus 10.5.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not,
for sure.
it's not because of analytics or anything other than maybe a homer pick, but I do like the Gators to win by that much. I mean, they have just been red hot. Like I said, they remind me of what they looked like before the SEC tournament last night. So, But anyways, back to the West. I do like what you said for your first pick because I think it plays right into the hand of my first pick. You thought that High Point in Arkansas is going to be a high scoring game. I think in order for it to be a high scoring game, that means High Point has to score two, which means I think that they cover the plus 11 and a half. Again, on the dogs, Arkansas scares the shit out of me. Darius Acuff Jr. scares the shit out of me. My wife is a huge Arkansas fan. I watch more of them than I'd like to admit. And I think they're very good. I love their coach. But High Point is obviously on a winning streak. Arkansas has not been able to beat teams by 12 in 6 out of their last 10 wins. So I think for that reason, and again, with that, the way that High Point is coming in, their coach is mean mugging reporters and all that stuff. I just think they're going to at least keep it. I think Arkansas wins, but I think they keep it close enough to cover that number. And
Yeah,
that
I
ends
love
my
that.
point. Go ahead.
I love that. I love that coach. That coach just giving it to the reporter. Awesome.
Oh man, yeah, man, he got me hyped up. Made me want to go play some ball and bust my knee out for him. But yeah. So with that being said, there's one more region, which is the Midwest, and I've only got one play here again, so I will go ahead and shout that out. It's continuing with the theme. The only thing I've been doing this whole March Madness is taking a dog. I'm taking another dog, which is St. Louis plus 12 and a half. Again, it's madness. It's a dog. Michigan, as EJ said, Rocketman said in our last show, they have not been what they were in the beginning of the season. They are not just walloping teams like Florida was at the end of the year. They're doing the opposite. They've only beat teams by more than 12, 2 out of the last 10 wins. All the rest were much closer than that. And then on the flip side, St. Louis hasn't lost by more than 12, 8 out of the last 10. So they cover this number 80% of the time. Michigan fails to cover the number 80% of the time. That makes that my only Midwest play.
Well, this is going to be disappointing for the fans because I'm on it with you. I don't know if you can see, just so you know, I'm not lying right there. My notes, SLU plus 12 and a half.
No, that's good. Maybe we got a shotgun blast.
That could be a solid one. The only other thing I have to add to is statistically over the season, they have nearly identical stats for points for, points against, rebounds. St. Louis is not afraid to play in the middle. They dominated Georgia in the middle. Plus they have oh boy. Well, all right, we got our first guest here.
What's up, dude?
uh Plus they got my boy Milk Chamberlain out there. I love that guy. So that's I'm taking them. You're gonna give him a hug? All right, go give him a hug. Oh, very
Hey,
nice.
buddies.
We're showing the
All
love here.
right.
We're showing the love here.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, this because of Rocket Man not being available today, we do not have. Normally, we tell you guys our shotgun blast. We'll get with that and get with him, and if we have one, we'll post that on socials. As far as the shotgun blast goes, maybe it's High Point because it sounds like at least me and Unders are on that one. We'll see how Rocket Man feels. But with that being said, what we're going to do next then is we're going to go through our brackets, Tommy, and I will get started with who I have picked for each of the second round. So we're going to just go through it one by one here. In the East, first we got St. John's versus Kansas, and I've got St. John's. No, I'm sorry, that's the first round.
Robert,
What's up, buddy?
are you?
Where I'm at a friend's house, man. Okay, no, I was
Yeah.
right. Sorry, I got confused there. But yeah, I got St. John's over Kansas. Unders. Who do you got?
Sorry, well, I had the wrong thing pulled up. Hold on a second now. Oh boy, what a mess. All right. What do we got here?
Well, and I skipped the game anyways, Tommy. While you figure that out, I'm
All
sorry.
right.
We know I got St. John's over Kansas, but Duke
Yeah.
TCU. So Duke versus TCU to me is Duke.
All right. So I'll go two here real quick. I got Duke and I also have St. John's.
We knew you had Duke because you took them to cover. I think that they
Yeah.
will at least win for sure, and they may absolutely wallop them after being embarrassed and everybody talking about them the way that they are. Next, we got Michigan State versus Louisville. Who you got?
I'm taking Michigan State. I think the injuries catch up to Louisville on this one.
I'm also Michigan State, man. We talked about Darius Acuff Jr., but I think Jeremiah Fears deserves a shout out as well. This guy is legit. Next, we got UConn, UCLA, and I'm going UConn here.
Yep, I'm taking UConn as well.
Chalk, 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 and I'm going to continue that chalk with Florida, Iowa. I'm going Florida. As I said, I'm betting them to win by more than 11, but yep, Florida easy for me.
Yeah, Florida easy.
This one was tougher for me, so I'm going to let you go first. Nebraska, Vandy.
I like Nebraska. They're hot right now, and I think they're trying to prove a point, so I'm going Nebraska.
I have two different brackets going, the cheat code like everybody does, but I have Vandy in one, Nebraska in the other, but I do have the one where I am most confident in Nebraska. So I'm gonna join you there. Next, we got Illinois VCU. I may be on VCU plus 11, but I'm not on them to win. I got Illinois.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it being close, but I got Illinois in this one too.
Same. All right, who you got? A&M Houston.
I'm taking Houston.
I am as well. I also took A&M again, my play of the day to keep it close enough, but I think Houston pulls it off in the end. So we are continuing our chalky, chalky bracket, which is what usually happens once you start getting to these rounds. Arizona, Utah State, for me. Arizona, chalk.
Yep, Arizona chalk on that one.
And then Arkansas, High Point. I am going to continue the chalk. We've talked about how I feel about Arkansas and why, even though I think High Point keeps it close with all their momentum, Arkansas is just nasty. I got them to win.
Yeah, I think Arkansas is too much for them.
All right, what about Gonzaga, Texas?
All right, here we go. First upset of the round. I'm taking
Wow.
Texas.
Wow, dude. Me too. And in our
Nice.
very first episode of We Promise We Watch Sports, if you remember when we first got a look at the brackets as they come out, I looked at that Texas and NC State and said, I think they might be able to beat BYU and Gonzaga, whichever team it is. So I'm sticking to that. That was my
Yep.
original feeling, and I'm sticking to that feeling. So that's both of our first upsets. It might be my only one. Purdue, Miami. I am on Purdue here, and I don't even know that it's going to be that hard for them.
No, I think Purdue rolls them.
Yep, same here. Michigan, St. Louis, I think it's going to be a little tougher than it was for Purdue, but I think Michigan pulls it out.
Yeah, I mean, I love St. Louis. I think they definitely cover, but I think Michigan wins.
Yeah, same here. Bama, Texas Tech, who you got, oil money or roll tide?
I'm taking all that oil money, man. I'm running. Texas
Texas
Tech.
Tech? All
I think
right.
so.
This one was tough for me too, man. I was against Alabama in the last round, and I watched that game and was not happy with how it ended. They looked hot at the end and pulled away in the last few minutes and did not allow my team to cover. That scares me, but I think maybe that I picked this before any of that, and I picked Bama. So hopefully they continue to stay hot the way they ended that last game. But yeah, Texas Tech scares me because they were hot too. Tennessee, Virginia, another tough one. This one's going to be a good game, in my opinion. Tennessee looked very good. They seem to always make it to the Sweet 16, never further. The Volunteers suck. But I picked Virginia.
Yeah, I'm going chalk here. I think it's going to be Virginia. I think it's going to be an ugly game, but I think it'll be Virginia.
Same here. Virginia loves to make them ugly, and if it is ugly, then that leans towards them anyways. And then the last one, I'm sticking with the chalk, man. I'm Iowa State over Kentucky. I didn't think Kentucky was going to make it past the first round. We know you did, and you were right. So what do you feel on this one?
No, I'm taking Iowa State. Although I'll tell you, I think it's going to be close. They had their top scorer go down. I think like 3 minutes into their game on the first round, but I still think they take Kentucky.
Got it. All right. Well, that's how our brackets play out. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to give you guys first an update on where we stand from our betting contest for the Skins game with the terrible golfer Mark. What we are going to be where we are at right now is not to toot my own horn, but I am in the lead. I'm the only one who went 3-0 in the first three picks. Rocket Man is right behind me, 2-1. And then Tommy Unders 1-2, taking up the caboose. With that, that's
It's not looking good for me.
pause. Taking up the caboose is not how you say that. But yeah, with two picks here, there is still a chance. If well, I don't think you can catch me, but you can at least catch EJ. So Rocket Man and you are really battling this out because even if I go 0-2, I'd be 3-2, which. No, yeah, you could catch that. So yeah, it's still anybody's game, man. So with that being said, I think if I remember right, Rocket Man started us out last time, right? So does that mean it's on me?
Yeah, it's on you.
All right. So I have Rocket Man's picks here, but I also have my own. I mentioned it earlier. My top play of the day, since I'm first overall pick, I'm going to go ahead and take that, which is going to be A&M and the points. I think it's 10.5. Yeah, A&M plus 10.5.
All right.
I think it's you now.
My first is gonna be St. Louis plus 12 and a half.
I like it, obviously. All right. So EJ or Rocket Man's, I got to stop doing that. Rocket Man's first is going to be St. John's minus 3.5. And now he gets to take a second pick because he's at the rear here. So he's going to then do Michigan St. Louis, the game that you picked, but he's going to do the under 161.5.
All right, and then my second one is gonna be the um same game, St. John's, Kansas. I'm taking the under 144 and a half.
Oh, okay. And you just stole my pick, so give me a second. That was my second pick. So me and you are aligned on some here. I think we can come up with a shotgun blast. All right, in that case, what I'm going to do is I am going to pivot to an over. I'm going to go Louisville, Michigan State over. That worked for me. Michigan State over helped me out the first round. So that's going to be my second and final pick for our contest here. So with that being said, not as many games, so that pretty much wraps up our show. The only other thing, I'm not sure that we're going to do another show for the last rounds because there's not as many games to talk about, but we'll probably be posting on socials for our top picks and all that stuff. So stay
Yeah.
tuned for those.
Yeah,
And then otherwise,
follow us on X. We got at the Shotgun Sport or at that SG Sports. We got at Buckshot Rob, at Tommy Unders. I don't remember what Rocket Man's is.
his is at SGS Rocket Man.
There we go.
Follow us on there, and then that way we can give you our picks for the end of it. And then look for We Promise We Watch Sports episode 2. It's probably going to be coming out with a draft, NFL draft preview. We'll see you guys then, and have a great day. Enjoy the madness.